Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. People, we are live. Lots to talk about today. Lots to talk about. Liverpool, back to winning ways, people. It's about time. It's been a long time. 6 defeats in 7, people. That's not good enough. But we're back. We're back to winning ways. Big game tomorrow. Big game tomorrow. I want to get your thoughts on Trent Alexander-Arnold. Should he be booed? I think he should be. I don't think there's any debate about it. I mean, he doesn't play for Liverpool anymore. I think he should be booed. I don't see anything wrong with it. But I want to get your thoughts on that. Also, we're going to talk about Florian Wirtz. Is he good enough for Liverpool? Want to get your thoughts on that. So make sure you hit the like button, everybody. But yeah, big game tomorrow. Big game tomorrow. Real Madrid in the Champions League. Joe, hello. Hello to you. This Man City fan. Vic, time to sing Sacked in the Morning next weekend. I don't think so. I'm not looking forward to that game, I have to be honest. Alright, Sam. Great performance this weekend. Better off the ball first to those loose balls. Yeah, I mean, it was a much improved performance. It really was. It was needed, wasn't it? Honestly. But yeah, what do you think about tomorrow night? I'm looking forward to it. You know, Trent going back to Anfield. I mean, look, you know, pundits and everybody are going to be like, oh no, they shouldn't boo him. They shouldn't boo Trent after all he did for Liverpool. They should boo him. And I hope they do. You know, this is what football is about. You know, football has gone soft. The world has gone soft. This is what it's about. You know, I mean, I don't think Xavi Alonso starts him, if I'm being honest. I don't think he starts him. I think he takes him out of the firing line. But we'll see. Steve says, never mind Trent. We should show him what he's missing. 3-1 to the Reds. Yeah, I mean, the atmosphere is going to be unbelievable. You know, the whole story about Trent and everything, it adds to the atmosphere. So I think that will suit Liverpool. But I'm really looking forward to it. I think, you know, beating Aston Villa, I think it was such a huge game. It was a must-win game for everybody. Arne Slot, the fans, the players. You know, it's great to see Mo Salah back to scoring, and he had his best game of the season. McAllister played well. So they need to carry that into tomorrow night. Do you think it'll be the same team? I'm going to say it's going to be the same team. Look, Florian Wirtz, does he get into this team? It's a Champions League. I don't know. Donny says Robbo should be a definite starter. Maka showed his class, so Wirtz not a starter for me. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Andy Robertson for me is the starting left back again. Kirk's just not happening for him. McAllister, he's not even back to his best, but it was a much improved performance. It was his best performance of the season. So I think he needs to keep the team that beat Aston Villa. You know, we're at home. The intensity is going to be there. I think Real Madrid will probably try to play a bit of football, which will suit Liverpool. But I'm really looking forward to it. Brian says, ridiculous question. Is Wirtz good enough? Of course he is. Haven't seen it, my friend. Haven't seen it yet. Just hoping. Christine, welcome to the chat. Hello, David, all the friends here tonight. Looking forward to a great match. Ahmed, hi, Dave. Yeah, look, I mean, the whole thing about Florian Wirtz, it's getting a bit... I feel for him, I do, because he's not shown the potential that we all thought he had. You know, 100 million is not his fault. Arne Slot doesn't know where to put him, because Liverpool's best team was the one against Aston Villa. That 3-man midfield has to play. And when you play that midfield, that means you can't play a number 10. So for me, he has to play on the left instead of Gakpo. But then he doesn't provide as much width as Gakpo does. I don't know. it never made sense for me to sign a number 10. You won't mind, like, people were saying Liverpool are going to miss Trent's creativity. Okay, but Trent's not a number 10. That was from the fullback area. You're not going to get a replacement in the fullback situation, of course, for Trent's creativity. But when we signed the number 10, you're thinking the whole setup of the team kind of changed. Look, we all want him to do well, of course we do. I want Florian Wirtz to be the new Kevin De Bruyne of the Premier League. I want him to be the best player we've ever seen at Liverpool. But at the moment, it's just not happening. Brian says, Dave, do you think when Van Dijk leaves, Dominic Szoboszlai should be captain? Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, what a player. What a season he's having. I mean, he never stops running. The commitment he shows. A serious, serious player, honestly. I mean, it's funny because Ryan Gravenberch, you'd look at the position he plays. McAllister, when he plays well, I mean, going on last season, probably Liverpool's best midfielder. But this season, Dominic Szoboszlai has to play in that team. And I think actually early in the season, when he played right back, it was to try and get Florian Wirtz into that team. As I said, to play that number 10 position, one of those midfielders have to come out. But because Dominic Szoboszlai was playing so well, he put him in a right back. I think it was just to get him onto the field. That's how good he's been. So, absolutely, that man could be future captain. Ahmed says, Kirkes needs to start with pace that the Madrid forwards have. Wirtz should start as a false 9 and play Ekitike at the left and rotate to unblock their mid-block. You don't really need width at both sides. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. Salah provide the width on the other side. I don't think Kirkes needs to start, I'll be honest. I think Andy Robertson has to start. I'm not a fan of Kirkes. I actually was when Liverpool signed him. I said, wow, this is a statement. The best left back in the Premier League. Just hasn't performed at all. Steve says it's a massive step up from the German league to the Premier League. Wirtz either behind the front two or competing with Gakpo. For me, it's competing with Gakpo. That midfield has to stay the same. Give Ekitike, he has to play. If he doesn't play, it's Isak. So for me, it's Gakpo. That's the only position I can think of where that Florian Wirtz could play. It's just not working for him with the number 10. Benny says, when he signed, I thought his physicality would be an issue. Tends to get bullied. Prem is not the Bundesliga. Look, the good thing about it is his physicality, you can work on that. You can absolutely work on that, but I agree with you. The amount of times he just gets muscled off the ball. He needs to be tougher in certain situations. But I just don't see where he fits into this team. And it says that midfield should stay the same, sadly. And gap, like it or not, is important for the team. Yeah, Gakpo's okay, to be fair. I mean, he's always getting a goal or an assist, to be fair. This is a good point from Donny. Dropping points till players show their class is not what we need in winning trophies. It's true. I mean, look, how long do you give him? Look, we're only, 10 games into the season, so I'm not saying get rid of him or anything like that. But we can't just keep playing a player. It doesn't matter who you are, that's not playing well. Remember, we were all saying that Salah should be dropped for Chiesa. So you can't just play Florian Wirtz because, it's 100 million, he has to play. For me, Liverpool winning is the most important thing. And on Saturday, the best team was the one that Arne Slot put out. So I just don't see where he gets in. I really don't. But I wanted to ask is, Trent Alexander-Arnold, should he get booed tomorrow night? I think absolutely he should. I don't see why not. It's football, people. It's emotions. The fans were not happy when he left. And the media, Talk Sports, Sky Sports, they're all going to go, oh my God, I can't believe Liverpool fans booed him. Oh, I can't believe. I knew there was going to be one or two fans, but the whole stadium booed him. Oh, I can't believe it. Nonsense. I think he should be booed out of the stadium. And that's what it's about. That's what football is about, people. It's about the emotion. David says no. That's fair enough. Look, at your opinion. Absolutely. I think he should be. I think it would just add to the atmosphere. I think it'd be brilliant. Remember in 2019 when Barcelona in the Champions League, Luis Suarez, the man was booed out of the stadium, and people still look at Luis Suarez, fondly. But I think he should be. No, he was. Trent was amazing for us, but the way he went about trying to leave, the fans were not happy, and rightly so. And I remember the start of last season. I think we beat, was it Brentford or Bournemouth at home? 2-0. Remember Arne Slot took him off in like the 70th minute and he had to go and talk to Trent on the bench. And after the game, Trent walked onto the field shaking his head and he looked disappointed. And Diogo Jota, may he rest in peace, absolute legend, he had his arm around him as if to say, will you, come on, cheer up, we won the game. And I think Trent's whole thing was, he was trying to blame Arne Slot. It was like, oh, I don't want to leave, but I have to leave because the manager doesn't rate me. And it was like as if he was trying his best to come up with a situation where the fans were like, oh, sure, look, the manager just doesn't rate him. And it was, no, for me, I think the fans should boo him. Hammond says boo him to get the crowd going. Yeah, it's about emotion, people. I think it'd be some atmosphere. David says boo all the Madrid players. Yeah, absolutely, I agree with you there. But for me, Trent, come on. It's football, people. Christine says, I think he will get booed. He wasn't honest with the fans. Didn't care about him leaving. It was the way he went. Exactly. A lot of fans feel the same. I think it's going to just add to the atmosphere. I think it'll help Liverpool. But I think Xavi Alonso will put him on the bench because I think he'll take him out of that. He might put him on, but I don't know. I'd be surprised if he starts. Lee says, regarding Wirtz, unless we change to a 4-4-2, I cannot see how he fits into the team. I agree. I don't get the signing. Look, he's not playing well. If he was playing well, if the team was playing well, then maybe it could be different. But at the moment, as I keep saying, that midfield three, that's the midfield three that won us the Premier League. I just couldn't understand us buying that number 10 because straight away you're breaking up that midfield. So look, we all want him to do well. Of course we do. As I say, I'm not saying, he should be sent out on loan in January like Didi Hamann said. No. But I just don't see where he fits. Vic says, this is why Anfield is my least favourite stadium to play at. Every time we touch the ball, we get booed. Yeah. Anfield is known for the atmosphere. And that is, I think tomorrow night could be really special atmosphere because of Trent, because of everything. Slot confirmed post-match that Salah tracking back and defending was brilliant, so that's a change we needed going forward now. Yeah, I mean, look, last season we all know Salah said to him, look, I'm not going to defend, but I'll win you the Premier League. That's exactly what he did. This season he's not performing as well as he did last season. Saturday he had his best game, but we just can't afford to have a player that's not tracking back. So on Saturday, I think everybody in that team, it was, I've said it so many times as well, take pride in your defending. Keep a clean sheet. And I think on Saturday, they were all determined to make sure they kept a clean sheet. Klopp used to bench Coutinho or Mane in the 17-18 season because they were too offensive and lacked physicality in that midfield. I think we have the same problem with Wirtz. Yeah, I think it is a problem. That's the word. It is a problem. In the summer when we were buying all these players, everybody's saying, it's brilliant because it gives the manager so many options. But sometimes that's a problem. You're better off when the team picks itself. Week in, week out, when everyone's fit, everyone knows the team. So David says, do we boo Alonso? Well, Alonso left on good terms. I mean, the fans weren't happy with the way Trent went about it. He was plotting that move for a couple of seasons. And as I said, at the start of last season, he was trying to, you could tell by him, he was trying to blame Arne Slot. Oh, the manager just doesn't rate me. He keeps taking me off. I don't want to leave, but I have to leave. You could tell by him, he was trying to blame the manager. So the fans are not happy with the way he left. They booed him even before the season finished. They booed him, was it against Arsenal? When he came off the bench. And then it was Jurgen Klopp came out and said, don't boo him, he still plays for Liverpool. To me, all bets are off now. He does not play for Liverpool anymore. The fans were not happy with him. I think he gets booed out of the stadium. I really do. Ray says we should definitely not boo Alonso, but we should boo Trent all game. Yeah, it's just the way he went about it. People were not happy with him. John asked, hi David, should we buy a DM for us to use Ryan further up the pitch and him to get more goals and assists? I think if we were to buy a DM, it depends on who it is, obviously. But for me, Ryan Gravenberch is one of the best in the league defensive midfielders. So I've no problem with him even sacrificing going forward. Because last season he got Young Player of the Season. So if you're buying a backup for him, no problem. But I'd just rather see him sitting there. I know he scored on Saturday, and going forward he's brilliant. But I think defensive midfielder, I think he's one of the best. I really do. I just think Arne Slot has it in his head this season that he can go further forward. Vic says, I can't wait to see how the Trent situation goes down tomorrow. Yeah, it's really intriguing for me. I can't wait for it. That's why I think actually Alonso will bench him. I don't think he'll start him. Just to take him out of all the emotion. It'll go against Real Madrid because, as I say, it'll help the team, help Liverpool with the crowd. Ivan says, in my opinion, our weakness is clearly defending and getting counter-attacked. So I think Slot should play a 3-4-3. Three centre-backs, four midfielders, so we could have Wirtz, Gravenberch, Szoboszlai and Maka start. Yeah, that's fair, but I don't think he's ever played a back three. Was it kind of a back three during the cup game against Crystal Palace at certain times? But I don't see him going to a back three. I know what you mean. It would get him into the team, but Benny says Arsenal aren't winning this league. It's Arsenal. Unfortunately, look, Benny, I hope you're right. I really do. But clean sheets. If Liverpool were able to keep a clean sheet like Arsenal are, Liverpool would win the league. They'd walk it because the amount of goals they score. And I keep saying, if Liverpool could be 6-7 points with 12 games to go, I definitely back Liverpool to win it. The pressure that would be on Arsenal. Paul says, let's just stay positive and cheer our lads on. Trent's at Madrid now. Oh yeah, absolutely. Look, it's about supporting Liverpool, of course. But I'm really intrigued because it's going to add to the atmosphere. It really is. I think it's the big story of the game. If Trent wasn't playing for Real Madrid, because it's still early in the Champions League, it's a big game, but I just think it's going to add to it. I really do. We could only win the league if we go to the Emirates and be 4 points or less behind them. Just stay in touching distance of them. I'm telling you, there's serious pressure on Arsenal this season and Arteta. The man has to win. Whereas Arne Slot, he doesn't have to win because we know he can. And I tell you, Klopp's last season, that midfield, brand new midfield, they needed that season to play together, and then it was all systems go then for last season. and they won the Premier League. So maybe this season is similar. These players need a whole season to play together, and then next season we can win the Premier League. I'm hoping it doesn't take that long, because as I say, second half of the season I can see us win the Champions League. I'm hoping it doesn't take all season. But serious talent in the squad, people. Donny says it seemed to take an embarrassment of results for this team to play for the badge. No, I mean, look, they were always committed to trying to beat whoever they were playing. It was a really bad run. Sometimes it can happen. But and look, Aston Villa could have went 1-0 up as well the other day. So they are struggling defensively. But I just think it was such an important game against Aston Villa. They had to win the game. That you just maybe saw a little bit extra. Which obviously isn't ideal. You know, you're right. Every game should be a must-win game, of course. But sometimes you just need that added, you know, just something else, you know. So, but yeah, you're right. I mean, it shouldn't take 4 defeats in a row for Liverpool to show a bit more commitment. And Paul says Arteta will lose the plot when the pressure comes. He always does. Look, I think it's very, very intriguing season. Arsenal at the moment are 7 points clear of Liverpool, 6 points clear of Man City. Does anybody think, let's say there's 10 games to go and that's the situation. I mean, I think everybody will be talking about Arsenal throwing it away like they have done in the past. I don't think people will be saying, oh, Liverpool have to win it now because they're champions. Man City have to win it because they won 4 in a row. It's all on Arsenal. If we can just stay in touching distance, if Man City can stay in touching distance of them, the pressure that they are going to be under. I mean, you've seen it last season in the Champions League. Champions League semi-final, I mean, they thought they had it won. You know, they're releasing videos before the semi-final in the first leg at the Emirates. They end up losing the game. This is what they do. So we just need to stay within touching distance of them. Ahmed says, if we drop points to City, Arsenal might just do it. That's my big worry, that Arsenal just get too far ahead. Like I say, 10 games to go. If Liverpool are 6-7 points, you know, away from them, we've a serious chance. But, you know, I mean, it's 10 points. It was 10 points before we played Aston Villa. You know, this is the problem. If all of a sudden, Christmas, January, it's 12, 15 points, then it's over. So Liverpool just need to stay within touching distance. Steve says Arsenal are relying too heavily on corners. It's true. You know, we keep saying it's not sustainable, but they keep scoring from them. It's such a weapon to have. I mean, Declan Rice. I mean, to me, he's overrated. But if you could win the Ballon d'Or for just taking corners, that man, guaranteed. His delivery is unbelievable. If we in touching distance in January and we get defenders in, then we have a chance. Absolutely. That's what I'm saying, people. That's what I'm saying. There's serious pressure on Arsenal. There's serious pressure on Arteta. You know, it would be interesting, I'm telling you. Because we all know Arne Slot, the man has a Premier League winner's medal in his back pocket. Arteta has to win something. Serious pressure on him. You know, they're just it's the clean sheets that are really impressive though. Look, the set piece goals, you could say, right, that's not sustainable. And there will be a couple of games where they're not going to score from a set piece. But it's the clean sheets always give them a chance to win. And that's where Liverpool need to get back to. Because I've said it so many times, if Liverpool keep a clean sheet, they win these games because they always score. Always. I mean, if Liverpool had as strong a defence as Arsenal, I don't think there's any doubt about it. Liverpool win the league. Liverpool win the league. Arsenal, as I say, set pieces. You'd imagine it's not sustainable. So far this season it's been. teams have to figure it out sometime. But I'd love for Liverpool to have that as a weapon. The only thing is, Arsenal, it seems to be their identity, where it's scoring from set pieces. Whereas it shouldn't be. It should be a weapon to have. But, as we keep saying, unless they score from a set piece, they don't look like scoring. So we'll just have to wait and see. If Arsenal win the league, their fans will be more unbearable than they are now. Prefer City to win it if we don't. I'm the same. Look, it's the online Arsenal fan base. Time for Slot to go 3-3 against Pep. Yeah, it's a big game. Not looking forward to that, to be honest with you. I'm looking forward to tomorrow night because we're at Anfield, Champions League night. I'm not looking forward to Sunday. I was watching Man City yesterday. Erling Haaland. He is on a different level. He really is. What has he got? 13 Premier League goals. But if you keep him quiet, there's very few goals in Man City's team. Liverpool have to make sure that they keep Haaland quiet, because if they don't, I mean, looking at the way they play counter-attack against Bournemouth in that first half, I didn't really watch the second half, to be honest. I mean, Liverpool are struggling with counter-attacks. They have to keep him quiet. He is on fire. Benny says, Arsenal's next 3. Sunderland away, Spurs at home, Chelsea away. The win those 3. That is actually tough. Right, Sunderland away, they'll win. Spurs at home. Spurs away record is not bad. Their home record isn't great. Chelsea away. That could be anything. Chelsea could do anything in that game. That could be 4-0 to Chelsea. It could be 4-0 to Arsenal. 4 corners. Sunderland, Spurs and Chelsea. Look, Sunderland are having an unbelievable season so far. But they're not going to beat Arsenal. Not a hope. They won't even get a draw. Spurs is very interesting. Chelsea away. They're tough games, to be fair, they are. Thanks, they have a great live chat. Sean from Wexford. Hello, Sean. Vic says, Bournemouth self-destructed with that high line. Liverpool will probably play the same way. So I like our chances. I hope they don't. I really do. I mean, you play a high line against Haaland. It's game over. But remember the game last season at the Etihad. Liverpool, they parked the bus basically. They got the 2 goals in the first half and they basically said, right, Man City, there you go. Try and score. That's what I want to see from Liverpool. Take pride in your defending. Try your best to get a clean sheet. And like I say, if Liverpool can do that, they always find a way to score. So it's an intriguing game. It really is. I mean, Arsenal will be hoping for a draw, of course. But I'm not looking forward to it, just because of the weaknesses Liverpool have this season. And Haaland is on fire. Paul says, David, would you keep Conor Bradley and Robertson in over Frimpong and Kirkes? Was at the Villa game and Conor Bradley was getting some love from the fans. He's a battler, so is Robbo. Yeah, absolutely. For me, that has to be the fullbacks now. Conor Bradley and Andy Robertson. Look, Kirkes, we all want him to do well. I was really excited about that signing. He's just not playing well. And we just can't afford to have a player in the team at the moment that's not playing well, because Liverpool are struggling. You know, we're struggling for that consistency. The one thing Andy Robertson gives you is that commitment. He has that experience. And Conor Bradley, look, I keep saying it. This time last year, Conor Bradley came into the team. Trent was injured. Not one of us was worried about Conor Bradley. Not one of us. So he's just not played well this season. But Saturday, I thought he was excellent. So for me, they're the fullbacks going forward. They have to be. Donny says Isak could be on the bench against City. I hope we have that option. Yeah, that would be some game for him to come back. But you know what the frustrating thing about it is? Right, Alexander Isak, let's say he's on the bench against City. International break. What is Alexander Isak going to do after the City game? He's going to fly off and play for Sweden. Stay with Liverpool. Work on your fitness. I know he won't be playing games, but still, he shouldn't be playing for Sweden when he's just back from injury. Hyder says Bradley and it. Sorry. Surprised with that. I think he's decent on his day. He hasn't played well this season, but that you can say that about every one of them. I thought Saturday was his best game. I've no worries about him. When he plays well for me, no worries at all. But yeah, I'm surprised now that you. Sam says Wirtz should start against Real on the left because want to keep that lineup fit for City game. That's a very interesting point from Sam. Would you rotate tomorrow night? Look, there's so many games in the Champions League. Liverpool are going to get through. They're going to get through. I'd actually take a draw tomorrow night. I'd take a draw, and then you go into Sunday. But that is a very good point from Sam. I mean, it is. It's something to think about because we're just really concerned about, getting that momentum. But as I said, there's so many games in the Champions League. Liverpool just need to get. They just need to qualify for the knockout stages. So yeah, it does give Arne Slot something to think about. I keep hearing all the nonsense. Are Liverpool going to win the league? It's one game. We got a kick on. Need a 15-game unbeaten league run. Yeah, spot on. They need to go on a run. At the moment, it's hard to see, but that's what they need. Don't think it'll happen. Slot has a Dutch bias towards Gakpo. He does like him, to be fair. He's very loyal to certain players. But at the moment, I just, we all want Florian Wirtz to do well. Just try him out there. You never know. It could be the best thing that's ever happened. Vic says, would you take a draw against us? It's probably the best you'll get. He's confident. He's definitely confident. Would I take a draw against City? Look, it depends on what way the game goes. Right now, would I take a draw? I'm going to say no. Liverpool are going there to win. But if you're 1-0 down going into injury time, of course you take a draw. But at the moment, no. I think Liverpool need to go there and win. A statement. And remind Arsenal, look, you're 7 points clear at the moment, but Liverpool are not going away. I think it'd be a big, big win. I actually think it'd be a big win for either team. Because Man City are going to look at this like a statement as well. Okay, they're at home and, they will be favourites for the game. But if they could beat Liverpool, that's a big game. And then, because Arsenal will be hoping for a draw, for both teams to draw points. But yeah, I wouldn't take a draw now. No, I want Liverpool to go there and try and win. Steve says probably the best we'll get. Look, yeah, it probably is. I mean, as I say, if we don't keep Haaland quiet, that man is going to have a field day with the way we're defending. But I think it'd be such a statement to go to the Etihad and just tell everybody that Liverpool are not going away, people. But they just don't look capable of it at the moment. But you never know. Ian says Real Madrid will do us. Confident any mean? Fair play to you. All joking aside though, that is the problem. Because the way Liverpool are playing at the moment, you don't see them going on that big, 10, 12 game win and run that is probably needed. Because even against Aston Villa, a couple of passes and they beat the press, running at the back four. So there still is problems, but I mean, can you imagine if we lost tomorrow night? I take a draw tomorrow night because I want to win on Sunday. But if we were to lose to Real Madrid, it'd be like, what was the point in beating Villa? Straight away you lose again. Wonder if Pep is going to play a coward's low block like against Arsenal. I think if City go 1-0 up, he probably will. I think it all depends on what way the game goes. That's why he played it against Arsenal, because they got the lead. But I actually don't mind Pep doing that, because you're trusting your players to keep a clean sheet. And Liverpool had that last season. Pep has changed it a bit, because last season, I mean, everyone was scoring against them. So I think this season he's basically said, look, lads, let's be a little bit more solid defensively. Vic says Pep would rather retire than play a low block. You obviously didn't watch the Arsenal game. You obviously didn't watch the Brentford game. He played a low block against Brentford. But yeah, as I say, we're only messing here, but I don't mind it. I really don't. I think Pep learned from last season. City were wide open. Everyone was scoring against them. So I think this season he's basically looking at it and saying, right lads, if we score, let's just shut up shop and let's get the 3 points. And that's what you have to do. That's what Liverpool were doing last season. Johnny says the players had stuck to Pep's plan at the Emirates, they would have walked away with 3 points. Yeah, Arsenal's goal, for some reason, Man City pushed up and they left all that space then for Martinelli. But yeah, I don't mind it. I really don't. You know, I've said it so many times. My favourite game from last season was at the was Liverpool against City at the Etihad. That was my favourite game because it just showed me a team that was so determined to keep a clean sheet. We got the 2 goals in the first half, and then it was just, lads, you're not scoring on us. It's not happening. And I just loved it. And I loved that about a team. And Liverpool have lost that this season. Need to get back to that. And Pep this season has done it. And I don't see anything wrong with it. You know, we're having a bit of crack slagging them here, but I don't see anything wrong with a manager doing that. So when's Pep retiring? Do you think he's there next season? A lot of people saying this is Pep's last season. I would love for Vincent Company to get the Man City job. I think he's the most overrated manager in world football. I mean, Bayern Munich are winning the league if I was the manager. But to have Vincent Company up on this pedestal, I would love for him to go to Man City. I don't think he is what they're making out to be. Bayern Munich should be judged in the Champions League this season because the German league is terrible. Sam says that game at the Etihad last season when we won, that's when I believed. Yeah, because Arsenal dropped points the day before. Was that the West Ham game? No, when Arsenal lost, or did they draw? I forget now. But anyway, yeah, I was the same, and it was a team that were just so determined to make sure that they won that game. I thought it was just a brilliant performance, 10 out of 10. So I've no problem with a manager parking the bus at all. Were you happier with the Etihad game or the reverse fixture at Anfield? Because I thought we had chances at the Etihad, but we were suffocated at Anfield. No, I preferred the Etihad one. The Anfield game, look, Anfield is Anfield. City have always struggled there, but Liverpool have always struggled at the Etihad. We've a terrible record there. So even going into that game, I wasn't confident. But to get the 2 goals in the first half, and then it was just, right lads, that's it. We've got the goals. Let's defend, keep a clean sheet, and let's go and win this league. And I just loved it. I absolutely loved it. Yeah, Vic says Arsenal lost 1-0 to West Ham. That was the day before, yeah. So basically that was the game. I know we talk about the Brentford game because it was the late goal and everything. But for me, that was the game that was like, right, we're winning the league. And it was just the determination. Remember Soboslai at the end of the game? The man nearly collapsed from exhaustion. Steve says Julia loved the park bus before parking the bus was called parking the bus. That's true, yeah. Gerard Houllier, the legend, may he rest in peace. Um, yeah, he was very defensive. Very defensive. And in certain games that was a problem for us. But it won us some big trophies. It really did. Remember that FA Cup final 2001? We got absolutely destroyed. How Arsenal didn't win that game 5-0, I'll never know. Dave says Wirtz came from the German league. Uh, is the step up to the Premiership too much for him? Personally, I think he will succeed at Liverpool. Yeah, look, we all want him to succeed, but he's just not. He's just not showing it at the moment. He really isn't, and it's not even for me. For me personally, it's not goals and assists. For me, that's just stats. But you just watch him, and even his passing is poor. I was really disappointed with him against Aston Villa because I just thought it was perfect for him. The game was stretched, and he had a perfect opportunity here now. Right, just you've got the space, just do some things. I thought he was poor. Bradley has improved in recent games and not getting booked. He has lots of energy and gets in crucial. Needs to be consistent though. Yeah, yellow cards were a problem for him. Um, but yeah, I've no worries about him when he plays well. He's one of the best right backs. I think Liverpool, not just Liverpool. He's one of the best right backs in the Premier League when he plays well. But he just struggled at the start of the season, so hopefully he can continue that now, and hopefully Arne Slot sticks with him because Szoboszlai cannot play right back anymore. He's too important. He needs to be in midfield. And Frimpong, did anybody see that TikTok of Frimpong today? Lads, I'm not a fan of that. Maybe I'm old. I'm 41. I'm too old for that. I'm not on TikTok. I get he's only and he's only in his 20s. I get it, but I'm not a fan of that. To me, that's Jesse Lingard nonsense. Maybe I'm being harsh. I think he's a bit too much on the social media for me. Jeez, I sound like a real owl lad there, don't I? Grumpy old man. But yeah, not for me. I think Jesse Lingard, Paul Pogba, just dancing around. Keep your head down. What's the score in tonight's match? Where's my phone? Hold on there, get me phone. One 0 to Everton. That's what I'm saying about Sunderland. Arsenal are not dropping points to Sunderland. Not a hope. Not a hope. Johnny asks, can Calvin Ramsey play in the Premier League? I thought he was very good against Crystal Palace. I'd love to see him do well. He's struggled with injuries. I can't see any reason why he couldn't. One 0 to Everton. Evertonians. Do you know what my big fear is, right? Just because we're talking about Everton for a bit. Remember Jack Grealish, 100 million, went to City, was basically a sub. Now, I thought his second season when they won the treble, I thought he was excellent. But it did take him a while to get kind of up to speed at Man City. Maybe that's what's going to happen with Florian Wirtz. 100 million this season, maybe a sub. Then maybe next season, maybe it's going to take him the full season. Who knows? To answer your question, Trent should not be booed and Wirtz is good enough. I hope you're right about Florian Wirtz. I think Trent is going to be booed. But I don't think he's going to play. I don't think he's going to play tomorrow night. Tommy C. Wirtz on the left tomorrow. I think you should try it tomorrow. I think he might rotate a bit tomorrow because of the Champions League. Against Frankfurt, Salah was dropped. It's such a big game because it's Real Madrid. I don't think Salah can't be dropped because of the game the other day, but he might change a few things. Wirtz played very well versus Frankfurt. Useful in Europe. Yeah, that's actually a very good point. Maybe the Champions League is where that man plays well. Maybe the Premier League just is too physical for him at the moment. But maybe the Champions League, that's where he shines. Because he did play very well against Frankfurt. But Frankfurt are terrible, aren't they? Tommy says needs to keep the same midfield. Yeah, the midfield three and the back four need to be the same. Front three, okay, he can try things. But the back four and the midfield have to be the same. Johnny says better to barely acknowledge him than boo him. But if he as much as looks at the fans the wrong way, feck it, boo him. I'm telling you, lads. He is going to get booed out of that stadium. I'm telling you. But I think it's going to add to the atmosphere. I think it's going to help Liverpool. I think it'll be 2-2 tomorrow. If somebody said, right, a draw tomorrow, but beat Man City, I'd take it all day long. All day. I think he would play Kirk as a left back. Yeah, I tell you, the more I think about it, look, Saturday was, without a doubt, the best back four, the best midfield three. But the more I think about it, because it is the Champions League, because there's so many games in this league phase, he might change it. He might change a lot. Kirkes could play. And I think if Liverpool got a draw, wouldn't be the end of the world. To me, it's all about the Man City game. Because it's so important, if we were to go to Man City and win, and that is going to be tough, but it would be a statement. It would just to remind Arsenal, look, you're ahead at the moment, but don't forget about us. Kenny says Wirtz played well against Atletico Madrid too. Yeah, that's true as well. He did. Maybe Europe is the place for him. Maybe the Premier League at the moment is just too physical for him. Maybe a bit too quick for him. In Europe, it could suit him. Big Gakpo, Ekitike versus Trent. I fancy those odds. I'd love to see Ekitike take him on. I think Ekitike out there. Andy Robertson overlapping. Tommy says Trent's ego is huge. It's massive. Honestly. Anybody see the interview he did with Prime? I mean, I think he thinks he's going to get cheered tomorrow. I think he's going to get he thinks he's going to get a great reception. I would use Rio tomorrow. Have him run at Real Madrid. I've never seen him before. That's a good point too, yeah. It's a bit of the unknown. Tommy says Trent won't start this game though. Yeah, I don't think he will. I think Xavi Alonso will take him out. I mean, he's not guaranteed starter anyway. But I think because of the emotion in the game, every time he touches the ball, the fans are going to boo him. And that will help Liverpool because of the atmosphere. So he might just take him out of firing line, put him on the bench. He mightn't even bring him on. I think Trent will get a mixed reception. It's intriguing. It really is. I can't wait. I can't wait for that game. I'm dreading the Man City game, but I can't wait for tomorrow night because it's such an intriguing game. Yeah, I don't know what way he's going to get. I think he's going to get booed out of the stadium. But he doesn't play for Liverpool anymore. Can Bradley handle Vinny Jr.? We're going to find out. Really are. Midfield are going to have to help him out. Like Vinicius Jr. is a good player, but I think he's overrated. I don't think he will play at all, personally. You saw how he crumbled against United last season with the atmosphere. Yeah, I don't know. I'd love for him to play. I really would, because it'd add to the whole thing. But I don't think he will. Vinny ran Trent ragged at Liverpool. Very true. Very true. Remember that Champions League final? Lads, we dominated that game. We should have won that game at least by 4 or 5 goals. United enjoyed their 1 week above us. Didn't they really? My God. Honestly, people. I mean, they never stopped texting me. And then this weekend, Liverpool go back above them. Not a word. Not a word. It's gone quiet again. Watched the game against... I watched their game against Nottingham Forest. I mean, look, they have serious problems. They do. They're a long way off competing, in my opinion. Tommy says we have to be good in possession tomorrow night. They could kill us on the counter if not. Yeah, that's a big worry. Same against Man City. You know, we need to get back to controlling games. Julian says, I hope he does start, as he will make Madrid weaker. Well, look, I mean, when he was playing for Liverpool last season, not just last season, but when he was playing for Liverpool, every single team, that's the weakness. Attack Trent. So it'll be no different for Liverpool. If Trent Alexander-Arnold is starting, that'll be the tactics. Get the ball down that side and go at him. Benny said, the number of Manx that have been in my taxi lately gloating. It's unbelievable, lads. Unbelievable. They went ahead of us. An uncle of mine. No word from him last year. Not a word. Last weekend, soon as Man United went above us, he's sending me screenshots of the Premier League table and everything. I'm like, lads, not a word from this weekend though. What is going on? United have tough fixtures ahead. Let me take a look at this. I tell you people, it doesn't matter how bad United get. I always check the result because, honestly, they are the biggest rivals. I don't care how bad they get. I don't care if they're in relegation battle. I still want them to lose every single week. Let me check this. Alright, here's their fixtures. Tottenham away, Everton at home, Palace away, West Ham at home, Wolves away, Bournemouth, Aston Villa. Yeah, that is tough actually. Tottenham have to win that game, especially after the Chelsea performance. You know, you want to keep Man United down there now, lads. If they had beaten Nottingham Forest, they would have went second. You can't be having that, lads. Tommy says, shows how far United have fallen when winning 3 games on the bounce is an achievement. But sure, it was ridiculous. I mean, honestly, 3 games in a row and all of a sudden. That United fan is never going to cut his hair. Never going to happen. United have only the league to worry about. Makes it easier. Yeah, there you go. 1 game a week. They're not even in the Carabao Cup anymore. Oh no, they annoy me. They really do. Johnny says, makes me even more pissed off. Losing to Man United at Anfield kills me. I'm your age and growing up, it was literally my nightmare. Honestly, it's the fixture that I get more nervous about that one. I don't care how good Liverpool are. I don't care how bad Man United are. That is the one game I get more nervous about. Honestly, can't stand them. That United fan going to look like Cousin Hit. I'm telling you, he is. But you're like 5 games. That's tough when you think about it. Because I mean, unless you're Arsenal, Man City, Liverpool, maybe Chelsea, 5 games in a row. That is tough in the Premier League. I remember in 85-86, United win their first 10 league games. Liverpool won the double. Yeah, hopefully something similar this season. Can never forget how mouthy United fans were when they were good. The worst ever. See, the problem was social media. Like, they were dominating before social media happened. But then when social media started, Man United were the face of the Premier League. They were dominating. So, of course, they were the loudest. Danny Murphy was great against United at Old Trafford, scored 3 winners there. He scored from open play, a free kick, and a penalty. That has to be a record. The free kick was first, wasn't it? It was the free kick, then it was the open play, then the penalty. Anybody see the video I made yesterday about what Danny said about Florian Wirtz? I was just making the point that the expectation on him from a lot of people, I don't think it's fair. Because I played a clip that Danny said on Talk Sport. Now, I have huge respect for Danny Murphy. I thought he was a great Liverpool player, very underrated. But the point I was making, it was unfair because a lot of pundits were saying, oh, that's it. The league is done. If Liverpool get first, the league is done. That's what Danny Murphy said. And then halfway through it, he said, I've seen bits of him. Lads, come on. This is the problem. Like, the expectation is not fair on him. The price tag, nothing to do with him. I just think people are just expecting way too much of him, and they didn't even watch him. Pete Ekatika's goal was offside. It was a great header, wasn't it? I mean, he was a mile offside. Vic says top 3 most annoying fan base: Arsenal, United, and Liverpool. I think Vic comes here just to wind us up. But fair play to him. It's all a bit of crack at the end of the day, lads. See, you don't have a fan base. How's the game going now? Still 1-0. It's half time. Right, people, what's score predictions? Let's get score predictions for tomorrow night. What do you think? I'm going to go with a draw. I'm going to say it's 1-1. I'm going to say Real Madrid will score first, unfortunately, because we're struggling defensively. And I'm going to say that Mo Salah gets the equaliser. 2-1 to the lads, says Steve. Vic says Liverpool 0, Real Madrid 5. Fair play to Vic, I have to say. He comes here every Monday just to wind us up. But fair play to him. It's all good. Bit of crack. Wirtz to score tomorrow. What a goal. Sorry, what a game that would be to get a goal against Real Madrid, his first one. Sam says 2-2. Another 2-2. Tim asks, would you start Robbo at left back tomorrow? I tell you, I was going to, but a lot of people were saying, because it's the Champions League, he might rotate. Sure. I think the City game is more important because there's so many games in the Champions League. So I'm going to say no. I'd go with Kirkes just because I want Andy Robertson to play against City. Steve says we'll be up for it. Yeah, I can't wait for it. I think the atmosphere is going to be unbelievable. Kirkes is horrible though. Unfortunately, he is. But I think Andy Robertson is so important. I think we need him for the City game. Just because there's so many games in the Champions League. I mean, we'd have to be an absolute disaster for Liverpool not to get through to the knockout phase. So I'd go with Kirkes tomorrow. I'd take a draw and then play Andy Robertson on Sunday. 1-0 in the fifth minute goal, then 90 minutes of utter stress. Why would you say that? You're still confident we will win the Champions League? I'm not going to lie. I'm not as confident as I was before, but I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to say, yeah, we're going to win the Champions League. "1-1, Sunderland just scored." I mean, Jesus, lads. Sunderland are on fire, aren't they? But then again, it is only Everton. Fair play to them. Up to fourth. To go above us is to get a winner. But because it's Everton, I hope to do. Imagine Sunderland having a better season than Newcastle. Poor old Newcastle. I'm not confident going into tomorrow's game at all, honestly. I did not think we was great against Villa. Big up David and the chat. Look, the worrying thing was, of course, Villa, one or two passes to beat the press, running at the back four. Didn't start well. Who was it? Rodgers hit the post. Matty Cash hit the post, or hit the bar. That was a great save from Marmalashvili, but it took a deflection. So yeah, I mean, look, there's still problems with the team, but I'm just hoping that, the quality that they've too much quality for this run to continue. Sunderland are this season's Forest. It's looking like it. It really is. I tell you, I want Nottingham Forest to get relegated just because of that owner. I think that owner is an absolute disgrace, in my opinion. I mean, sacking Ange Postecoglou after what was it? 8 games. I mean, come on. 8 games. Like, why did you hire him in the first place? You're only going to give him 8 games. Dyche will keep them up. He probably will, to be fair to him. How many likes has this got so far, people? I can't find it here. I'm still new to this streaming. Doesn't say on it. Is Isak ready? Nope, he wasn't in training today. He could make the bench for Man City, which is a serious option to have. But the problem is his fitness. You know, he was just starting to get going and he gets injured. Hopefully that's not the situation all season. Hopefully. 39 likes, people. Let's get these likes up. Chiesa should start over Gakpo. Give him a go. Absolutely. 40 now, thanks to me. Thank you very much. Do you know what I always forget in my videos? Always forget to say, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. I always forget. And I do the video, I upload it, and next week I'm like, I forgot to say it again. It says 31 here, must be lagging. I can't find it at all. Oh, I see it now. Here we go. 43. 44. Much appreciated, people. Much appreciated. Tomorrow, either stream the game or watch it on the phone. Only invest in Prime Video over Christmas when they televise 2 rounds with a free trial. Yeah, I noticed the game is on Prime tomorrow. It's on TNT. I've got Sky and TNT. I haven't watched it on Prime. TNT, Ali McKeist will probably be doing the commentating. Ali, the most enthusiastic man in football history. I mean, if Liverpool do boo Trent, it'll be something like, I tell you one thing, Fletch. I can't believe they're booing him. Yeah, thanks for that, Ali. Is it easy to do those animations people do to say, like, subscribe and the bell thingy? Not for me, it's not. I'll be honest. Not for me. This is very basic. It's very basic, people. Very basic. Sam says, I got TNT and Sky Sports via Now TV. I'd rather listen to McCoist than Warnock. Is Warnock on Prime? Ali can't stand him. Honestly, I think he's one of the worst commentators. He's so enthusiastic about everything. I'll tell you one thing, Fletch. Stephen Warnock does the commentating on Prime. I'd say that's good. I think I'll stick with TNT. Ali McCoist. I'll tell you one thing, Fletch. I think one day he said, I'll tell you one thing, Fletch. I can't disagree with you, but I think you're wrong. Something like that. I was like, okay, Ali, yeah, okay. I think he's terrible on TalkSport as well. I don't watch TalkSport as much as I used to. Used to listen to it every day. Too many ads on it. Way too many ads. I like Simon Jordan on it. There's too many ads. At least it's not Peter Drury. Lads, I think he's the most overrated commentator. All he does is just call out the players' names when they have a shot. That's all he does. To me, it's too rehearsed. It's like as if he has it written in front of him. It's not spontaneous. Steve says Peter Drury, aka Oscar Wilde. Yeah, it's too. I think he has it all written down. And I remember last season, or one of the seasons anyway, a goal happened out of absolutely nothing. I think it was in the Manchester Derby or something. But the goal was like out of nothing. And you knew by him, he hadn't a clue what to say. He couldn't come up with anything. There was silence for a couple of seconds. And you're like, are you going to say something there? It's just all planned. It's... Do you like Beglin? I don't mind Jim Beglin, to be fair. I tell you who's very good. I think he's a brilliant commentator. He's on Premier Sports. Gary Breen. I think Gary Breen is a brilliant commentator. Honestly, I do. I'm not messing. And you know who else I think is brilliant on Sky Sports? Don Goodman. I think Don Goodman's the most underrated commentator. I think he should be doing big games. Best comms are RT with Ray Houghton. Yeah, I don't mind Ray. I think there is better out there. But I think Gary Breen is one of the best commentators. If you haven't heard him. Do you ever watch ESPN? No. My two favourites are Gary Breen and Don Goodman. I think they're brilliant. Sam says, I got so bored of watching Gillette Soccer Saturday. Merce should have retired. When Tom Otis and Nicholas walked, I don't respect Merce anymore. Chat's load of rubbish. I don't watch it anymore, to be honest with you. I actually do respect Paul Merson because the man played the game at the highest level. So yeah, look, I mean, everyone's entitled to their opinion. You mightn't agree with him. That's fine. But the man played the game at the highest level. The problem I have with the likes of Gillette Soccer Saturday, people are there that don't deserve to be there. You know who I'm talking about. They don't deserve to be there. They haven't played the game. I don't value their opinion. They're entitled to their opinion, but they haven't earned the right to be where they are. So yeah, I don't really watch them, to be honest. And I very rarely watch the analysis at half time on Sky Sports anymore. Unless Roy Keane is there. I don't mind Jamie Redknapp because it goes back to it, lads. They've played the game at the highest level. You know, they know what they're talking about. Even if you don't agree with them, they've played there. They've been there, done that. They've played in World Cups. They've played for some of the biggest clubs out there. To me, it should be about the experience you have. You've earned the right to talk about it, but there's too many people on there now that have never played the game. Big Meeks. To be fair to Micah Richards, the man has played the game. He's played the game at the highest level. He's played for his country. Hey David, my good man. Hello Carlos. Welcome to the chat, my friend. Did you hear Fletch, Rio and Savage in United games? No, that's a trio. Oh, I did. Oh, I did. I thought it was embarrassing. I mean, you might as well be watching Man United TV. Just so unprofessional, some of these channels at the moment. You know, do they think it's only Man United fans are watching it? I just don't get that. It's years since I watched Match of the Day. I don't watch Match of the Day anymore. To me, if I want to watch highlights, I just go on YouTube. You know, the 3-minute clips. Perfect. Keane is okay, to be fair. Pretty neutral. Yeah, I like Ray Keane as well. He is very neutral, to be fair to him. Neville's in love with his own voice and opinion, especially when he's talking absolute bollocks, which is usually 90% of the time. I've said this before about him. I think he's the most unprofessional commentator there is out there. He should not be doing Man United games. I mean, it's not Man United fan TV. I still watch Match of the Day, but find myself falling asleep after an hour. I don't watch it anymore, lads. To be honest, I don't think you need to. You know, years ago it was the only place you got your highlights. You know, you can get them on YouTube now. 3-minute clips, done. You get to see the goals. Unless there's a game where you really want to see, you know, different things in the game. Okay, maybe Match of the Day, but no, for me, not anymore. I think it had its day. Neville can't help himself. He really loads Liverpool. I understand he hates Liverpool. I've no problem with that at all. I hate Man United. But the man is on Sky Sports. Try and be a little bit more professional. That's all I'd want. I think Sky Sports, the fact that they have a camera in the commentary box, it just shows you what they're encouraging. They're encouraging that. And this goes to Jamie Carragher as well. You know, that Mo Salah, you little dancer. I don't like that, lads. Be professional. You know, it's not Liverpool fan TV either. Just be professional. Call the game. You know, as fans and as viewers, we want to see a different perspective. We want to see tactics. What is the manager doing? You know, it's Sky Sports have just gone down this fan channel road. If you want to look at a fan channel, go on YouTube. That's the platform for the likes of myself. But on Sky Sports, people are paying a fortune. They want proper analysis, proper punditry from ex-players who have played the game at the highest level. It's just, to me, it's not the same. 47 likes now, people. Thank you all very much. Benny says pundits and an analysis have to be neutral. They have to be. But they just Sky Sports just want the clicks now on YouTube and social media. It's not about being professional. It's just about getting the views. And I'm a huge NFL fan, and I'm telling you, lads, it's night and day. You look at an NFL game. I mean, it's none of that, just getting clicks. It's proper analysis. The tactics that they show. It really is. I mean, as a fan, you're like, how do they know all that? But Sky Sports, they don't do that. It's just Gary Neville shouting his head off and Man United score. Don't have Carragher and Neville on Liverpool games and I'm sound. Absolutely. Carla says NFL very, very professional. Look, if you have not played in the NFL, you are not getting a job, either commentating or being in the studio analysing the game. It's not happening. And that is the problem with Sky Sports at the moment. There's too many people on there that have not played the game at the highest level, have not even played the game at any sort of a level, and yet they're giving us analysis at half time. I mean, you could get anyone to do that. The problem is the Anfield Agenda is running at the same time as this live stream. Is the Anfield Agenda doing a live stream as well? Can't compete with him, my friends. Cannot compete with him. Apart from start of season, I respect Neville, but him and respect Carragher, I assume. But him and Neville are as bad as each other. Cara knows jack shit, never won much with us. Yeah, but again, even if he never won anything, but you did, he never won the league, right, grand. But yeah, he played the game at the highest level. He played at World Cups. He played for Liverpool Football Club for what, over 800 times, whatever it was. So he has earned the right to be able to talk about football on Sky Sports. Again, I don't like Gary Neville, but I can't sit here and say that he hasn't earned the right to talk about football. He has. But there's so many people on there that haven't. Carroll won everything, yeah. He won everything else except for the league. He won the European Cup. He won the UEFA Cup, FA Cup, League Cup. It was just the Premier League he didn't win. But like the man has played in the World Cup. He's played for England. So like he knows football. So whether you like him or you don't, you can't argue that he hasn't earned the right to be there. I mean, I absolutely despised Rio Ferdinand. But again, Rio Ferdinand won the biggest trophies, played the biggest games. Different personalities. That's not about Carragher, is it? What's about Anfield Agenda? You were both good. Yeah, I mean, look, the man, you have to give him huge respect. 300,000, over 300,000 subscribers. That's amazing. That is absolutely amazing. Fair play to him. I mean, I'm a long way off that, people. A long way off that. But, we'll get there someday. We'll get there. Both Irish as well, yeah. Carroll was good. Played 700 games. Yeah, I think it was over. It was over 700 games. Had his moments. Can't argue he was good at times. No, he was. Yeah, I mean, it's very easy to throw it at him that he was average and all of this. No, Carragher was on his day. He was a very good player, and he has won the big trophies, except for the league. So for me, he has earned the right to be able to speak about football. That's not the argument. The argument for me is the same with Gary Neville. The man has earned the right. Of course he has. But it's just so unprofessional at times. It drives you mad. I don't know why Sky Sports are gone down that road. It should be about proper analysis, proper punditry, giving the fans an insight into the game that we might not have seen, that we wouldn't get, that kind of way. That's what you get at the NFL. But Sky Sports have gone down a different road altogether. I just don't get it. At times, Goldbridge has praised Liverpool. Yeah, Mark Goldbridge is very professional. But again, that's for YouTube. And YouTube gives the likes of myself a platform to talk about football, which is brilliant. And but when you're on Sky Sports talking about the Premier League, you should have played the game at the highest level to be qualified to talk about it. On YouTube, we're fans. We're having a conversation. But it's Sky Sports. People pay a lot of money for it to be listening to people that haven't played the game. It just drives me mad. Hupia never gets spoken about when talked about one of the best defenders in the league ever. Very good, wasn't he? Goldbridge is better on his non-United channel. Yeah, that's football. He's very good. I think Mark Goldbridge is very good. Sky Sports know the big money clicks and views are with the two teams with a combined 1.5 billion fans between them. They're all about the money. What time are we now, people? Nearly 9:30. Give it another 10 minutes. Then we may call it a night, people. Sam says Talk Sport is rubbish. They just need to not click on it, especially Cundy. Look, he's there. Whatever he does on it, uh, that have you seen that nonsense? That's what they encourage now. That's what they want. These the likes of Talk Sport, the likes of Sky Sports. They want just the clicks. Jordan is the only decent guy in talk shite. I do. I like listening to Simon Jordan. I think he's brilliant. Um, but again, he was a Premier League owner. He was owner of a football club, so he gives different insight into what goes on behind the scenes, which is very interesting. So I enjoy listening to people like that on the likes of Sky Sports, Talk Sport, but there's not many of them. Carla says, I only watch David and Redmen TV for my Liverpool content. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. I see you and All Red Liverpool, Sam from America, are the best to watch. Others, no way. Yeah, I've watched All Red Liverpool. Very good channel. Carla says, well, we like what we like, chat. Yeah, look, everybody has their own opinions. Everybody has their own tastes. You know, there is no right and wrong. Whatever you're into, whatever channel is your favorite, it's up to you. Right, I'm going to finish on this comment here from Kat. Trent should get booed, not out of hate, but because he's a rival now and he used to play for us. Absolutely. He's not a Liverpool player anymore. He's a Real Madrid player. He should be booed because it'll add to the atmosphere and hopefully it'll help Liverpool win. So, right, people, I'm going to call it a night now. Thanks very much for joining me. Remember, every Monday night, people, 8 p.m, we're going to do this. Really enjoying the chat. Having a bit of crack. Talking about the best team in the world, the Premier League champions. So, yeah, hopefully we win tomorrow night. And I'll talk to you all very, very soon. So I'll see you.